very, very taken with the remarks that the previous speakers have made, and I don't want to cut into the follow-on speakers, and I'll try to be succinct and clear as I possibly can. The focus here, and TERI certainly has it right, is on food and water. And those are critically important, and there's a lot of emphasis, correctly I think, on water as essential to food, and water is critical to energy. And my emphasis will be on climate change, and that's been true, it's strikingly true, though it's not listed for this panel, that the ministers from the United Kingdom, Minister Barker, Minister from Poland, the Minister from Afghanistan, Mr. Alvarez from the Philippines, Mr. Kolovac. We had some opportunity to talk prior to coming out here, and each is emphasizing climate change. And some may think that climate change is unrelated to food, water supply, energy, whereas I think just the opposite is the case. That is, without addressing climate change and addressing it effectively and quickly, we will simply lose a lot of water, a lot of food. The poorest of the poor will be unable to provide and have energy. And in my judgment, the greatest opportunity for energy and providing food and retaining water without losing it, and we're losing it so rapidly, not just in India, but around the world. Age 32, Jerry Brown, I headed the Water Resources Board in California. All of a sudden, we're having fires that we have never had before, and that has to do with the absence of water and then the greater heat that in turn turns into fires in the mountains above much of Los Angeles. So it's true around the world, and what we need to do, in my judgment, is work with the finest people in the world on finding means to capture sunlight. So if we have means, and I believe we can have those means within the next 5 to 10 years. So I do a lot of work at Caltech. They're working on photosynthesis, so artificial photosynthesis, in which with catalysts they break down water, H2O, and sunlight, and prospectively capture a form of energy from our sun. So as most of you likely know, if we can, and this is the extreme case, I don't mean to say we'll go this far, but 1 hour of energy from our sun will supply energy for all the people, just 1 hour, all around the world. That's true in every single country that's been addressed here. So the key thing in my judgment is to integrate leaders of the extraordinary leadership of the men who've already spoken, and leaders around the world, and to business leaders. We talked a lot about the role that business leaders can play yesterday. But it isn't just ordinary leaders. It's people that want to lead and make a difference, to change, such that we move urgently and quickly to breaking down adverse climate effects. And they are accelerating everywhere around the world. We heard that again and again. And then when we have the greatest labs, as in Caltech, Nate Lewis, where we're doing a lot of work. That's true in many, many places. It's true here in India. And then we can capture sunlight, and we can have forms of solar energy that are increasingly valuable to the point at which, not that we can roll back the clock, but that we can preserve what we have and make that form of energy urgently, quickly, now available to people all around the world. So with that, I will conclude my remarks. The one thing I would love to do is over the lunch is talk further with my colleagues on this panel and others of you, and I don't want to take more time, on this subject of climate effects and how tightly those tie in with food and energy and water supply. So thank you very much.